Hello everyone, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and giving some first impressions for the Spider Farmer 4-tier plant stand that comes with 6 lights, totaling 108 watts of total output. This is a nice plant stand that comes with everything that you need to start growing your plants. And as you all might expect, we're going to be testing this plant stand with some carnivorous plants. I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to show you how it looks with some carnivorous plants in it, so make sure to stick around to the end. Alright, let's go ahead and have a look at everything that comes in the box. First thing that we have here are the clips for keeping the shelving units on the supports. Next thing we have here are the waterproof shelf liners to help with any water spillage or mess. The optional wheels for the bottom, we'll definitely have more on this here in just a little bit. And of course the instruction manual for putting it all together. The book also has specifications on the lights, which will be helpful for some. We have the rods or the supports here for building the shelving unit. The kit contains 6 total lights and all their connectors. These lights daisy chain into just one plug-in, which is almost a must for me now. More on these lights here in just a little bit. We have some zip ties and metal clasps to attach the lights to the shelves. I'll show you how to connect these in a few moments. I'll also show you what the white cap is for, so make sure and stay tuned. Then we have the tent to cover the shelving unit, which is one of the things that makes this kit really great. You also have 4 shelves over here. Here's a quick look at everything it comes with. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put all this together. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go with step 1. We're basically going to attach the plastic clasps to the rods so that we can slide on the first shelf. The plastic tabs all have an arrow pointing up. Make sure both tabs are pointing up when you attach. They're slightly smaller at the top than they are the bottom. If you put them on upside down, the shelf won't slide on right. You just put both plastic tabs together, then slide until it clicks. If you need to adjust, just pull them apart a little bit, slide until you're close to where you need it to click, push them together, and keep sliding them until they click into place. It's super important that these clips all go in the exact same spot on each rod. If they're not, the shelf won't sit correctly. Also, I have to apologize for my dirty hands. I literally just got done making a fresh batch of carnivorous plant substrate. And speaking of the substrate, before we get to step 2, it's repotting season for carnivorous plants. Make sure you pot your plants in the best carnivorous plant substrate on the market. I make my substrate with high quality ingredients. Everything is hand mixed. I also take the time to sift the peat moss to remove debris and rinse all the ingredients individually and after it's blended together. My mix contains peat moss, perlite, and crushed glass. This blend has been perfected to hold the right amount of moisture and allow the perfect amount of drainage for your Venus flytraps, sarracenias, sundews, and many other types of carnivorous plants. I also sell premium planters and other carnivorous plant accessories. Head on over to my website, carnivorousplanthub.com, and see what I have available. Okay, let's get back to the Spider Farmer plant shelf. Okay, we're ready for step 2. We're going to be sliding on the first wire shelf onto the 4 rods. The easiest way I found to do this, especially if you're by yourself, is to slide the rods in while it's horizontal and then stand it up and let the shelf slide down. Slide the shelf onto the plastic tabs. You can gently tap them down with a rubber mallet to make sure that the shelf sinks all the way down into the tab. Be careful not to hit them too hard because these plastic tabs can slip with too much force. Keep in mind, at this point you'll want to decide if you want the wheels or the plastic tabs at the bottom. You just simply unscrew the plastic tabs and screw the wheels on. If you keep the plastic tabs, you can adjust the height of each leg just a little bit if you by chance have to put your stand on an uneven surface. This can help prevent wobbling. I didn't really need to adjust mine since my floor is pretty even. Alright, and then with step 3 here, we're just kind of rinsing and repeating. Attach the tabs again so you can slide on the next shelf. Just be very careful to make sure that all the tabs are in the exact same height. I made this mistake once and it was pretty annoying. After you attach the second shelf, it's time to add the screw-in rods to make the unit taller. Keep in mind, there are 2 sets of rods. You'll need to attach both. I messed up and only attached the long rods my first time through. I forgot about the short ones. I had to tear it all apart and attach the short ones along with the long ones so that the unit was the correct height. Now that the rods are attached, we're going to once again clip on the plastic tabs for the next shelf. As soon as the tabs are on, slide the 3rd shelf down and gently tap it with the mallet. Then just one more time at the top. Slide on the tabs and then slide on the last shelf. Okay, and then as you can see here, step 4 says to replace the feet for the wheels, but I think it makes more sense to do that way sooner if that's your intent. So on to step 5. Let's attach the lights. Step 5 says to attach the connectors to the lights first. I found this to be more difficult. It would be easier to attach the lights to the shelves and then attach the connectors. I recommend that as it was easier for me to put together. You can't attach all the lights to the shelves while they're all connected. You'll need to disconnect some of the connectors anyway. So you might as well just wait until after you've connected them to the shelves before you connect all the connectors together. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and now secure the light bars to the actual shelves. You can see I followed the steps and attached the connectors to the lights first. I still think you should wait until after this next step to do that. We're going to attach these metal clasps to the shelf and then attach the light bars to the clasps. They clip on like this. Make sure you put the clasps where you want your light bar attached. I found that the rows 4 and 5 of the wire shelving seem to be kind of the sweet spot, right in the middle. The easiest way to do this is to push your zip tie through the metal clasp first, then attach it to the wire shelf with the zip tie. I like to keep it loose enough so that I can slide the light back and forth if I need to. Then attach the other 3 so you can secure both light bars. You can then cut off the excess plastic from the zip ties if you would like. To secure the light, just snap it into the metal clasp. Make sure you align the bar up well when you snap it in place. I didn't do that on my first one here, and I had to slide the bar around to get it to line up correctly. Then attach the other light, and your first shelf has the lighting now all completely attached. You're going to basically do the same thing for the next 2 shelves. The very bottom shelf won't have any lights attached, obviously. Alright, real quick I want to show you how the lights connect to the connectors. You can see there are 2 holes and a small tab. The tab needs to align with the slot on the actual light. I found it easiest to get it as close as possible and then just twist the connector with a little bit of force. It'll slide into place when the tab gets to the slot. Then just tighten the nut to secure the connection. There will be 1 light left that does not have a connector. The extra cap provided is to keep moisture out of that last light's connector. Make sure to screw that on to avoid any moisture. Now I'm going to show you how to hook up all the connecting cords. Let's start with the cord that has the plug-in that connects to your outlet. You want the plug-in connector to attach to the light that's closest to the outlet in the wall. If your plug-in is higher up toward the top of your tent, maybe start up there instead of at the bottom like I did. You can see my plug-in is right here, so this was an easy decision for me. Let's plug it in and follow the connectors. Please note, there's 1 connector that has a plug-in that connects to the outlet. Then there's 2 long connectors and 2 short connectors, and I'll show you how to hook all those up. From where I connected the light to the outlet connector, let's follow the light down. On the opposite end, you're going to connect the 2 lights on this shelf with a short connector. Once they're connected, you'll follow the light that's opposite of the outlet connector. From this light, you're going to use a long connector to connect this shelf of lights to the next shelf of lights, either up or down depending on which way you're going. Mine are up. So let's go ahead and follow the connector. The long connector will connect to a light on the next shelf. Follow that light to the other end. These 2 lights are connected with another short connector on this shelf. Now it's the same thing. Follow the light down. This light will now connect with a long connector to the next shelf. Then one more time at the other end, you connect the 2 lights with the small connector. This last one will be open and you'll need to close it with the attached cap to avoid any moisture. Here's a look before we put the tent on. A really easy way to remember this is that the long connectors connect the shelves together and then the short connectors connect the 2 lights that are on the same shelf. Being able to connect all these together to only have 1 plug-in is really nice. The daisy chaining option is something that I almost require for all my light kits. Now we're going to attach the waterproof liners on the shelves. Make sure that the drain is in the front for easy access. Just attach the Velcro wraps to each support to keep the tray in place. This is a really nice addition and it makes cleaning up so much easier. I can just remove these and take them outside and spray them off. This is a really great feature. Okay, so it's time to put the tent on the shelving unit. This part really wasn't too bad. Just make sure you unzip it before you try to place it on. I will say that this is much easier with 2 people, but definitely doable with 1. I was able to put this entire thing together with 1 person in just about 30 minutes. You can choose to have this tent enclosed, which is really good for like a Nepenthes or a sundew, or you could choose to keep it open for better airflow, which is nice to have that option. Let's add some plants and see how they look. We'll put some pinks up here at the top shelf. I have some of my Sethos here that I've been selling. The bigger ones are my mother plants I use to propagate, and the smaller ones are my younger plants that I'm selling. The next shelf is a hodgepodge of sundews and some Walmart Venus flytraps I just bought. There's a video coming on those soon. I'm going to add some Venus flytraps to the bottom shelf. These I've decided to use as an experiment, indoor only and no dormancy. Again, I'm sure that's something I'm going to be doing a video on soon. A couple of features that I just wanted to point out real quick is that on the top, on both sides, you have a viewing window that you can open or close that's Velcro. They also have some holes on both sides for running cords. These holes are on the top and the bottom. There's also a storage compartment on just the one side, which is kind of nice to be able to throw some stuff in here. You also have a set of Velcro viewing windows on the bottom of the tent, just like the ones that are on the top. The only thing so far that I thought that they may have been able to improve on is adding a small piece of Velcro or a tie so that I could strap it to the support here. When it's all zipped up, this isn't a problem. It's just when the front piece is unzipped, it would be nice if you'd be able to bring these in a little bit tighter and keep them snug. It's a very small gripe and something I can fix really easily with a piece of Velcro, but maybe something for a spider farmer to consider in the future. Other than that, it's honestly pretty well made. It feels really sturdy and doesn't feel like it's gonna break or move around. All right, and that's the full setup. I'm gonna be using this and we'll be reviewing it in the next 30 days or so. I wanna really test it out and use the lights and see just how well they do with my carnivorous plants here. If you really need some technical specifications of this unit, I have a link in the description to take you over to Spider Farmer's website. Their listing has every measurement and every specification of the unit and the lights that you will need to help you decide if this is right for you. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I really hope to catch you in my next video. Bye.